and surrounded by a trio of stilted, strained smiles, I kept that thought, as if it were someone else's business, with dispassion, ambiguity, and total disinterest. January 2005. A new year began, and I returned to the hospital. But on this day, instead of my usual 4F room, I ended up in a conference room of sorts. They took me there, and then my father and the doctors had a little talk. I joined in. Well, they talked to me. So this was their so-called announcement. They said it in a terribly roundabout fashion, but they told me that I was going to die. I see. That was my only reply. I had no other words. It was the only thing that left my mouth from beginning to end, and the doctor's ballpoint pens flew across paper as if in response to my words. Those were probably hospice enrollment procedures, businesslike to the last. My father was the same. So it's this simple. It was the only real thought I had. That day I was transferred from 4F to 7F, from a 6-person room to a private room. It was a little different from the other wards, this 7F. First of all, the floors were sparkling clean, and second of all, the ceiling was higher than I'd ever seen it. The rooms were very nice, and had large windows from which the warm daylight streamed in as if by design. But the windows only opened a little. I tested them out, and my head would just barely fit out of one. The colour of my ID bracelet had changed as well. The bracelet that I'd worn ever since that first hospitalisation, the one that had my name and blood type recorded on it, its colour had now changed from blue to white. A high ceiling, a white vinyl bracelet, a window that wouldn't open more than 15 centimetres. The TV programme celebrating the new year was still playing when I was transferred to this 7F. And it was at the dawn of that very year that I met her for the first time. Holy crap, that is an intro. Jeez, a lot happened there. Right, okay, I can tell that this isn't going to mess around. This is going to go straight for the jugular, straight into the feels factory. So, oh good, all aboard the feels train. Let's go. Winter 2005, 7F. Okay, anything? Aha, okay. There was this place kind of like a lounge at one side of the corridor, across from the nurses' station. This generally deserted place held a few couches and chairs, as well as a large TV. Stupid programs commemorating the new year were still being broadcast on that 28-inch screen, and there was a girl who looked absolutely bored watching that absolutely boring TV. Short, in pink pyjamas. A white bracelet on her wrist, just like mine. Impressively long hair that almost reached down to her hips. Hey, do you find that interesting? There was no deep purpose in asking, simply I had nothing else to do, so I started talking to her. Not really, was her only reply to me. She didn't turn to face me at all. And she kept looking on with boredom at that TV as if I didn't even exist. Then don't watch it? Even as I thought this, I sat down in a chair next to her, and side by side we watched TV. Nothing else to do. Nothing we could do. So we sat there silently and watched TV. New Year celebration programs as per usual, a useless array of comedians and oddities, and every so often the MC's stupid, shrill laughter resounding dryly in this white, sun-drenched lounge. Say, tell me." The girl suddenly started talking to me, but her eyes were, as always, glued to the TV screen. "How many times is it for you now?" "What do you mean by that?" "How many times have you come here to 7F? "Sorry, I have no clue what you're talking about." "I see, so it's your first time then." So she'd seen my confusion about her question and come to the right conclusion. "Then since there's no one else around, and since it's my duty..." "Duty?" "There's this rule." Nodding slightly, she explained that the rule was that someone here, in 7F, should tell newcomers the truth. I knew nothing, I understood even less, and as if I did not even exist, she slowly started her speech. "Then listen closely." ... Her words, spoken methodically, one by one, were a little different from all the ones I'd heard from the doctors about this place. In their business-like crisp syntaxes, they told me, "This is a place where one waits for medical advances. This is a place where one heals one's heart," and perhaps they might have been correct in a general sense, but according to the girl, that was just the party line. The truth was that this 7F was the only place in the hospital where medical treatments did not take place. This was just a place where you waited for your life to come to an end. Those were her words to me. I thought so as well. I felt it even before she'd spoken. See, this is my second time. Second time doing what? Coming here. And then she explained to me that nobody on 7F stayed here from initial hospitalization all the way until death. While there was zero possibility of being cured, you were sent home if your condition was stable. But if it worsened again, you'd be returned here. That cycle ended only in death. Whether it was at home or here on 7F, always one of the two. You were going to die. No way to escape it, it seemed. And with that meaning permeating her every word, she informed me that this was her second time up here. I'm only going to say this once, so listen closely now. She continued speaking, all the while staring at the blank TV screen. This wasn't idle chit-chat about when lights out was, or where the kitchen was, or anything like that. This was something completely different. The third time you're discharged home, resign yourself. There won't be a fourth. You'll never go home again. If you ever want to escape, head toward the B station, not the A station. Eat nothing. That's the simplest shortcut. You'll leave the smallest burden on your family that way. It was as if she was packed to the brim with matters like those. This was probably an oral tradition, relevant only to those who were going to die and kept by those who came here for that purpose. So is this the duty that you were talking about? Yes, that's right. So do you remember to perform it for a newcomer yourself someday, okay? Oh, sorry. So do remember to perform it for a newcomer yourself someday, okay? With those words, she slowly stood up. She casually tossed her long hair and it grazed my nose. I have to go get my temperature measured, so... Then she turned her back and started walking down the corridor. Now completely deserted, save for me, the lounge held only the laughter from the TV and the white flowers by the windowsill. In the end, she didn't even look at me once. Jeez. God damn this game. Like, oh my god, okay? Just a second, I'm having another drink. So we have terminally ill patients I don't know how old they are. They can't be that old. And this girl has utterly resigned herself to her fate. And she's planned the easiest way. My God. Okay. Let's keep going. Choo-choo. A few days later. New Year celebrations were over, and the middle and high school students were beginning a new term. And just as ever, she and I sat in this lounge staring blankly at the TV. This is boring. So it is. So we said, but both of us kept our eyes on the screen. Hey, is this place always this way? I don't understand what you're getting at. I'm getting at how it's always deserted. Other than the nurses, doctors, and help staff, and other than her, I'd not seen a single person. Did everybody go home for the new year or something? Do you really want to know? Well, I didn't mean... Then I won't tell you.